Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help the show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown men talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
You don't find that often. And this is something that you ain't gonna find often either. You can look anywhere. You ain't gonna find this often at all. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna find it nowhere. It's only here. But we welcome y'all to another session of Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Thank you guys for joining us once again this Wednesday. Tell a friend, email them, text them, send a hummingbird. I don't care. Just let them know to tune in here on Wednesday. We're going to jump right into the show. I know you guys is looking, things look a little different. We want to give a shout out to our brother, EP, that's not here. He's good. He's working. So, don't worry about it. He's straight.
Oh, yeah.
And Trev wanted to play hot seats and shit. So that's why you see us in a different spot. So I gotta do I gotta fill in for Irv when it comes to you, because I still want you to feel comfortable. So
okay, I don't know how we gonna do that. Okay, all right, I'm with it. I'm a team player.
So,
Let's
okay.
go.
Well, we know, that's what I'm saying. Trev, man, I know a lot of y'all women be thinking that we be picking on Trev. Trev like this treatment. That it brings out the best in him. So person. It's not you a what?
I'm just a bigger person.
A bigger person. A bigger little person. Yeah. So we gonna jump right up in we gonna jump right up in here. Trev, you want to tell us how you doing, brother? How you feeling?
Well, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna thank God for what I'm going through. I'm collecting blessings, and He'll see me through it all.
Amen.
As far as Irvin is concerned, I can't speak up for Irvin, but he's on a project right now doing some mixing. I know he's watching. He said he may call in. He was doing a project, I think, mixing some music for Glasses Malone and an album that he'll work on.
And you're just giving up all his business.
Did he tell you to do that? Did he tell
you? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give my brother his props.
Yeah,
he's
but
out there doing something constructive. And I told him that if I mentioned it, would it be okay? And he said, okay, that's fine. No problem. He can't speak for himself right now. So.
Okay.
As long as you got it clear through him. Cause
I got the, what do you call that? When you play music, but you got to get the rights or whatever to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I got the right.
You got the license
I got the license
to say it.
If he call in and tell us, then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not, then you just got to deal with it.
He also spoke yesterday at a high school to some children in Inglewood yesterday about growth and some and music and entrepreneurship. And he did that, I believe, with Chase Bank as well. So he's getting it in.
Well, that's one of the things we definitely want to do here at Spitt'n Pollaseedz is get out in the community and get more involved. Last time that was our agenda before, but COVID hit it. But now since it's kind of relaxed, that's definitely something that we really want to do and make sure we do it. P, how you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm wonderful. Can't complain. I mean, like that saying is, what good will it do anyway?
Not.
Especially if you complaining to the wrong person.
Right.
That part.
That part. You complaining to a person that can't do anything about your situation.
Right. Well, but you can get it off your chest.
Yeah, but I can do that anyway. Right? In the presence of myself.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't commiserate with negativity.
Well, I'll say this.
Especially if it doesn't either of us no good. My
I think
week
that
is
depends on
going well. It's going to get better.
That's right.
It's going to get better. That's the only thing. You said something. You said I'm going through it, and that's the main thing, that you're going through it. You
I
don't
thank
get
God for what I'm
stuck in
going through.
there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
It's just gonna make you stronger, make us stronger.
I believe it.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it. I
Definitely.
know it will. I know it
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Cool.
But let's, Kev. You.
I'm good, bro.
And because you look great. You look
Thank you, sir.
coordinated, I must
try
say.
to be.
You look
Yeah.
coordinated. The way you matched that up right there.
Man, and it was
Man,
last,
right before
it was
Supermodel.
Man, it was last minute.
Last
so,
minute? What?
Man, I had to rush home, man. Get that cat ready. You have him, man. It's but hey, we worked.
You didn't have to get him.
No, I didn't
ready.
have to get him
He
ready.
a
I had to
grown-
make sure that he was getting ready so we
Oh,
can get out the house.
you
But
got a grown son.
no, I
talking
don't.
about
No, I
that.
don't. I'm not. I don't dress or wash my grown son. They can do it themselves. You know.
Yeah.
So, but
So
thank you,
let's-
brother. I appreciate it. So let's jump right up in this
Let's go.
piece, man. The death of a gentleman, huh?
Death of a gentleman.
Yeah, that's
Who wanna get peeled off?
well.
Who wanna
Hold-
peel
hold on,
off
quick
first?
second. We definitely want y'all response. Please call if you shy or whatever. Then go on and just type it in. But audience participation is definitely welcome.
Yes.
Right. The phone number will be on your going across the screen in a little bit, but you're more than welcome to text or send us messages or what have you. However you want to communicate with us, we definitely welcome it. We also welcome if you like, share, and subscribe. The sponsors will definitely appreciate it. You got from Smart Mouth Entertainment to Furnace to Swank and to Indica Barber Salon. So let's jump on into it. Now the topic is titled "Death of the Gentleman," and one of the things we wanted to elaborate on and go into was, do nice guys finish last? Now this is something that we both sexes would need to correspond and relate to us on that, because we also need some clarity. What would be your definition of a nice guy, and then what is the definition of a gentleman? So I think Kanum has some ideas about that, right?
Yeah. While he pulls up the 10 qualities of a gentleman, please, Keith. We're gonna get into this because a lot of women think that chivalry is dead, and we know the way we act and the way we go about life, that is not. And if it's death of a gentleman, my question tonight is, who killed the gentleman? Who's the culprit?
Ooh.
Who's the villain?
So can we move that to the side, Keith, or kind of? Well, it's well, I was going to.
You can block me out on. You can block me out on my.
Yeah, you don't mind.
As long as the viewers get the
Trevor
content.
out.
The death of a gentleman.
Yeah, death of a gentleman.
So go ahead with the qualities. What did it say?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll pull it up on my phone.
It's on the
Oh,
screen.
okay. I can see it now. Oh, so these are 10 qualities of a gentleman. A gentleman is generous with his time, wisdom, and resources. I'm just going to go to number 2. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you. So he's generous with his time. A gentleman possesses a positive outlook on life, that we just talked about that. He possesses that. A gentleman is a lifelong learner.
I agree.
A gentleman models civility in how he can't even see that word right there. I gotta get some better glasses. How he treats others.
Change the batteries in your glasses.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. A gentleman is well mannered and knows what is appropriate. A gentleman possesses a strong work ethic. And then if you go to the next one, it has the last 4 on there. We know what a gentleman is and the qualities of a gentleman. And the last ones are: a gentleman is confident. A gentleman is well dressed. Well, shoot, he swanked out. A gentleman is well spoken, and is a generous listener. A gentleman is known for his integrity. He's a man of his words, and he follows his words. So those are the 10 qualities of a gentleman. And so we understand that we as a gentleman, and go ahead, give your, remember you always a humble,
Um, the I live by what is it called? What I call my mantra for my life: to be a well-groomed, humbled, organized businessman, and to be equipped spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. So, if you are equipped in those areas of being equipped spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially, and you're a well-groomed, humbled, organized business person, I think those are some characteristics that can hold vault you into a different sphere of thinking, as well as you will attract a different type of person. Uh, if you are trying to attract a female, I think those are the characteristics that personifies a stern gentleman. I
yeah,
believe in being a stern gentleman. I don't believe in being a nice guy, and I don't believe that uh, a nice guy. Well, I do believe that the nice guys finish last when you're younger. When you're younger, yeah, because you're not necessarily prepared, or better yet, a woman is not necessarily to perceive those gentlemanly qualities in a young person oftentimes, because they're still trying to figure out themselves. But for that young man that may be too nice, he may be too nice for a specific type of young lady. But um, another wifely spirited young girl, she probably would appreciate him. But you're attracted to different things when you're younger. So being attracted to
yeah. But
what you're attracted to is
when you're
different.
younger, that's when you're in training to be a gentleman. Should be, right? You know, you watching the gentlemen that are around you, and you kind of mimic their behaviors.
Yeah.
So if your dad is opening up your mother's car door, you normally would mimic that behavior.
Oh, you know what? Let,
You,
let me address this then. Okay,
okay.
valid point. Um, there is, and I remember, I don't know if it was called the Lynx Club or whatever it was back in the day, but you also had an etiquette class,
Yeah.
something along the lines of an etiquette
They
class, and I
had
think that's
debutante for the
right,
debutante
right,
balls for the
right,
uh, females,
right,
and the men. We just had to kind of
right.
work through it.
No, well, you had different types of rites of passages, but that's another show. So you have these younger men are that should have an etiquette class. Now, an etiquette class, I would believe it really almost parallels. Let's just say COVID. In our season, it's COVID, but before, I believe it was spawned from the epidemic in 1919. So what it was, or better yet, and if you want to understand how to govern yourself like a gentleman, act as if you don't want her to touch anything.
Hmm.
If you
What?
carry, for example, she shouldn't have to touch the door because there's germs on it.
Oh, I see what you're
She
saying.
she and then
I was
right,
like,
she shouldn't have to open the door.
that's my love
Everyone has.
language is physical touch. Now,
Well,
don't
I
get
didn't say not touch us.
not,
Hold on. So you have. She can touch herself now. So anyway, look back to anyway. So if she is going to sit down, many people have touched that chair, so you pull the seat out. A gentleman would open the door for it because a lot of people have touched that door, the car door, the restaurant door, and things of that nature.
Well,
So it's kind of a protective mentality that a young man should have.
you know, I was speaking to someone on this topic this week, and I said, "What caused the death of a gentleman? Who's the culprit? What killed it?" And she told me feminism
Mhm.
I
killed the
definitely
gentleman.
believe that. I
That
definitely believe that.
the feminist movement killed the gentleman. Oh, I don't need you to get my door. I'm strong enough to do that. It wasn't even about that.
Mm.
Or at being in care and concern. Hey, let me know when you make it. Oh, he's too controlling. he want to know when I come and go. It's not even about that, sweetie. I'm just want to make sure that you made it home safely. So if I don't get a call from you, uh, I want to know. I might need to backtrack and see, hey, what happened to her?
I would lean more towards music and the feminist movement. We're the only nationality that calls our women. I can't say that again because I got anyway.
The B word.
We the only one that call our women the B word. We're the only one that personifying pimping. We don't.
Yeah.
So now by gauging that mentality, how many we've lowered the standard for our women. If your woman came home and say, "Baby, you're awesome, you're great, you smell good," you know what, you're gonna make it. You keep filling out them job applications. I got your back. I'm your support. A man will live up to that so that he can prove her right. If you have a woman that uplifts, encourages, and inspires you, you are going to try your best to live up to that. It may take short.
Okay, we got a call.
We got a caller. Thank you, because I was getting tired of hearing.
Hello, caller. Thank you for your call. What's your question or comment?
My question and comments for Trevor and the rest of the group. Yeah, I was thinking about your thing about having chivalry to a woman. A question is, how do you know when is the right time to do those things?
Okay.
Well,
who are we speaking with?
This is McCann.
Okay.
I think a man should always be a gentleman, no matter what, right? It's not a question of time, or it's like my dad always says, don't start something you can't finish. So you should always be a gentleman, even when you're not around her. You're a gentleman all the time.
If you're speaking about being a gentleman in terms of in the presence of a woman, I think always keep in mind and at the forefront respect and taking care of, because that also implements security. So being a protector and a person that's what makes you the man of the family, is because you do all the grunt work, let's say, but at the same token, you do the grunt work for the persons that you're with. And gentlemen also have respect. So you have respect for one another. You have respect and care for the people that you are responsible for. So I believe it, no matter who you're with, whether it be children, male or female, whether it be elder, male or female.
Yeah.
Kevin, what you think?
But now the question is also is that are there these women these days? Some women these days don't understand how they're not used to being that, like open the door for them, and maybe if they're cold, give them a jacket. A lot of women these days don't see that. So it's like, how do you know if you do it, she don't think you trying to make a move on her, or is it some, or are you being too nice? See, that's what I'm saying. I know I'm 54, so I not how it is, but nowadays, those kind of things, they're not looked upon as being chivalry anymore. They're looked upon as, okay, being soft, or
a simp.
That's how I see it.
Simp. Yeah, bottom line, that's nice guy. I think nice guys are simps.
Well, my thing is continue to be who you are. Don't let whatever her response is change who you are. If that's just natural what you do, then do that. Because I teach my sons the same thing. I picked a young lady up one time, and we walked to the car, and I went to open the car door for her, and she was like, "Oh wow, you such a gentleman." I said, "Well, thank you." I said, "But I got to get in on this side too, though, sweetie." So you got to move so I can get in first.
Okay. Let me.
He's stupid. He wasn't even.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Let me ask you a simple question. Basically, if you open the door for the lady and go across the other side, do you feel there's a little sign that if she? This is back in the day. Does she open the door for you? Remember how they used to go across the other side of the door for you?
Yeah.
Is that something you remember? I mean, I'm old school, so. Would you feel that as like a sign of, okay, like she might understand that, or like, okay, she's kind of selfish? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that used to be a thing where if she didn't reach over and open your door, that she wasn't really appreciative of you doing it for her. Nowadays, we don't have to do that. You know, we got the key fob.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, she don't need to be reaching over there. But I did have a young lady. She still reached over and opened up the door, and I was like, hey, you know, you don't really have to do that. I mean, I can get in with the key fob.
Well, okay,
but
brothers.
I would
but
say
that's a good question, and I what's your name again, brother?
McCann.
My name is McCann Mack. Yeah, I'm one of Trevor's longtime customers in the barbershop
Since '92.
Okay.
Well, I don't think he remember who you was because
Yeah,
he never did help us out.
I've been married for 11 years. I've been with my wife for 20. So I'm just.
Oh, congratulations, brother!
Oh yeah,
congratulations.
Man, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Trevor,
thank you, man.
I know you're still a gentleman to your wife.
Oh man, trust, hey
No.
brother. If I wasn't, man, I end up being, I'd be out the
single.
house.
3 o'clock Friday, Mackie.
Thank you for
man.
calling, brother.
Yes, brother. You guys have been doing me safe, and I really enjoyed this. That's why I chimed in, brother.
Thank
guys
you.
are doing
Thank
me
you,
safe.
brother. Thank
Love
All
all
right,
you guys.
we got another
All
caller.
right, 3 o'clock.
Sorry about that,
Is
bro.
there another call? It's another
Yeah.
call already?
Yeah,
All
it was another call. Call back,
Yeah,
whoever
call back.
it was.
Why?
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Hello, caller. Thank you for your call.
Right.
What's your question or comment?
She thought you said call back.
You're right. Call back. This is Valerie
Valerie. Hi,
Hi,
Valerie.
sir.
How are you?
and the Cigar Man. I'm well. How are you?
wonderful.
I want to comment on what you said about the maturity level of women and men, that at a certain time you're looking for different things. So just as I think when men are young, they're looking more visually at certain things and certain things that they would like, certain parts of skin and certain parts of things they will mind looking at as a younger man. As you mature, do you want your woman out like that?
Bobby.
So just as
Good question. Good question.
No,
ahead.
just as a woman in my younger days, okay, I like a little roughneck, no problem. But as I matured, that conversation, that type of look, that type of thing, I can't deal with that anymore. You got to be able to hold a conversation. It's something fundamental and something. What are we doing in 10 years, or what are we doing in a few months, or what are we doing a little later?
Are you okay?
Other than yo, what's up? Kind of thing.
I really let me tell you. Let me tell you about Bobby.
Okay.
Bobby,
Is that who?
solid person.
The rights. Did you ask her?
Her name is
But-
ma'am. Could you repeat? Her name.
I said, is it all
Bobby.
right for you to tell?
I'm the peppermint
I'ma
cigar
tell-
lady.
I'm gonna tell the
Friend.
story. I'm gonna tell the story. Bobby, the hair and
Yes.
hair, and she also has a drink also that she promotes, right, Bobby?
Yes, I do.
All right. So here's the thing. Let me tell you about Bobby, right?
Do we
When
have
Bobby was younger, listen, it's about chivalry, won't you? Jeez.
All right.
You have tear your wall
Well,
down,
you're
buddy.
going to pay for her advertisement. So, go ahead.
So listen. In terms of Bobby, very attractive lady. She had been doing hair 4 years, right? So I was in the same industry, and I was like, you know what? That would be somebody. And I finally told my boy, man, she's the thumbs up, right? And I found myself being chivalrous to her or whatever, wanting to desire that, right? So my boy said, hey, Bobby, my boy got a crush on you. Bobby said, oh, that's so cute. I was like, she patted me on the head.
Taller than you.
She patted me on the head. I'm like, hey,
We got to get you some lifts to put in your shoes.
right? So with
Don't do that.
Bobby,
Because a few minutes ago, one of y'all said something about little Trevor, and I was like, don't do that. That's not nice.
But hey,
But you patted him on
Again,
the
it's
head.
age, it's maturity. It's
Saying the lady that patted him on the
right?
head.
Yeah, exactly.
lady.
patted me on the
Yeah,
head.
please.
But
But
at
so
the same time,
I got a question for Bobby then. It's Bobby, you washing dishes over there?
Right, for real.
I'm sorry. I'm putting dishes away. I forget.
Oh, okay,
Okay, go ahead.
I know I heard something.
Or her head.
Okay.
Washing.
I'm not. Don't do that.
But Bobby, so did you not like Trevor because he was a nice guy?
Short.
No,
And
I
we're not
wouldn't
going
say
to talk
that.
about his
I
height.
was always, listen, Trevor knows me. He's known me for a very long time. I'm sorry. And I just call
Little
it shallow. So just like some men are butt men and breast men, I'm a height chick. my eyes are gonna go to the tallest thing in the room, and they're gonna go down from there. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
So that hasn't always worked out the best for me, but it is what it is. I like what I like. So it was nothing personal to Trevor, and I knew Trevor was in the business. He was a nice guy. He was cool at the time, but he was also out all the time with his people, you know, and they go posse.
He wasn't dateable.
I mean, I knew Trevor.
He wasn't dateable.
So,
Thank you, Bobby.
We'll see.
that's not a nice way to put it.
But it is what it is, Bobby. Come on now. We adults. He can handle it.
I can handle
Yeah,
it. I was
he's older now.
Yeah.
Not for someone. I mean, not for everybody, but maybe just for me. I mean,
No,
but I mean,
you're not by
I also
yourself.
wasn't trying to kill his character because he was nice. He was
Why
cool. He
not?
didn't come at me foul.
So what do you think killed the gentleman? What do you think killed the gentleman? Or do nice guys finish
Well,
last?
some of it, I think that, like you said, at a certain age, nice guys may finish last. And it's harder now. I think that what killed the gentleman is we got to a point where mothers and some fathers raised their girls and coddled their boys.
Ooh.
Yes.
So that's what
that is so
kind of
true.
sprung a lot of women into having to do their own thing. Like me, myself, I was raised by a single mom, 2 women. All I know is 3 women actually that raised my mother, my grandmother, my aunt. I don't know anything but a woman doing her thing and raising her kids. And now I have a son, so I work very hard at trying to get him to not be the mama's boy or the little kids that are trying to date me now because of whatever happened to them as a child they haven't dealt with. So now we're dealing with all these problems coming up with these grown men and their issues. So, and it makes it hard for us. For women, I'm not that believing that INDEP. Now, I like the song, but I'm not independent like that. But my needs are different.
Okay.
I don't need you. I've never been the girl who has somebody pay for my hair to get done. I mean, I was married for a while, and I really only asked my husband to buy me one expensive bag in all of that time because I just don't do that. I don't think it's right to me. But everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to do something for you that I can't do for myself.
Well,
Wow.
we thank you
We
for calling in,
appreciate
Bobby.
you,
We
Bobby.
appreciate all of that.
And thank you for letting Trevor down softly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Oh, God.
We have some more calls
I
coming
can't
in.
believe you still remember that. Okay.
Yeah. He's like an elephant. He
All right.
remember a lot of things.
So
Thank
we
you,
have some
Bobby.
more callers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, they said they could.
Okay, so
I didn't even know that. That's a fancy little thing there.
so now the calling of the boys that she mentioned.
Y'all have a good night.
You have a
Oh, good
right,
night. Good night.
You have a few people that view a nice guy as someone that has a.
Do we have somebody?
We have somebody.
We have another caller on.
Hello.
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 Hi,
Yes.
caller. Thank you for your call. What's your question or comment?
And tell us
I
your
just kind
name.
of wanted to piggyback off the previous caller, Bobby, I believe.
Yeah.
Just talking about buying gifts, and I've been in a relationship for about a year, and when I first met him, we hit it off, things were good, and I kind of remember that he didn't open the door, and I was like, okay, I feel like that's kind of how do I say it? Just kind of an older thing, an older man kind of thing that like you said, it's dead now. They don't do it anymore. So
Would you want that now?
it's always. I would, yeah. That's a nice.
Are you still dating him?
Well, we're kind of going through a thing right now.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
All right.
Oh.
I don't know what it is, and
Is he a nice
I
guy?
feel like it kind of.
Is he a nice
Excuse me?
guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he's a nice guy.
Would you call him
So
a? Go ahead. You were.
no,
you were
I'm
saying.
sorry. No, please go ahead. Ask.
No, I was gonna be facetious, but go ahead. Finish. He doesn't do that, and you don't like him when he doesn't do that.
Well, it's not that I didn't like it. I was a little bit surprised because it wasn't that I expected it, but it's just one of those things. Kind of from the South, just manners I guess I did kind of expect it, but it wasn't like
How long were you,
that deal breaker.
how long were you in
that
the
he's not doing that.
relationship?
She already said it's been about a
He
year.
wasn't listening.
Listen, Trevor.
He wasn't
Yes.
listening.
Trevor,
He was-
God,
he
I
was
thought
in-
you
he
had
was-
the memory of an elephant.
No, he was in his own thought.
You got an attention
Okay,
span
so-
of a gnat.
So hold on. From start to now, you guys have been in an actual committed relationship for 1 year.
Yes.
Okay,
But that's partly. I mean, I know the topic is being a gentleman, but
Right,
but
okay.
it is kind of related to getting to know people and their personalities, and he's really difficult to pull things from, like to talk about stuff. And he always says, you ask whatever you want, I'll be honest with you, which is great. And that's good. It's important to getting to know people. But sometimes when I do, like, he doesn't fully answer me, or he'll gloss over stuff. So it's been a year, and it's not like I'm concerned with anything, shady going on as far as other women or the people. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know everything, but I don't feel that. I feel like it's more things about him that he either doesn't want to talk about, or just him opening up to me.
But that's another show, because the him being a gentleman or a nice guy is probably we want to address now. But the gentleman, are you on rocky terms because he's too much of a gentleman or too much of a nice guy? So that's what we kind of want to focus on that right now. But I do appreciate
totally. I get it. Just want to say, one quick thing, and then I can hang up. But it was kind of about the gifts. Like, I don't expect gifts, from men or from people in general. People. I like giving gifts. If I see something, I know this person will like this or that, I'll buy it. So, for example, this gentleman, this guy that I've been talking to, I would see things, and I would have bought him gifts. Now, he's maybe bought me a couple of things, but I'm always buying something because I want to.
Oh, thank you. What's your name? What's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, thank you for your comment and your interaction. We enjoyed that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, just go
Thank
get
you.
some
Have
gifts.
a good one. Appreciate the show.
All right. Thank you.
So he probably just got
man.
another caller.
We got a hotline.
More call. Okay.
Come on, what's your name?
Wait.
What's your statement? Or
and leave the 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi,
everybody.
Hello.
You talking about telling them 2 minutes?
Hey, can you turn down the show in the background?
Okay.
Is chivalry dead? Are the gentlemen dead, or does a nice guy finish last?
Yes. Wait. We talking to two different people.
Are two people on the hotline?
It's got a party line.
It's a party line.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
Party
go.
line cracking now.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
hang up.
I ain't been on one of these in
This
a
is
long time.
Taylor. I'll hang up and call back. This is Shantae Taylor. I'll
No.
come back.
Just
go ahead.
go ahead.
Come on.
Say what you're gonna say, and then what we'll do, we'll try to answer it after the question or the
So,
comment
Shantae,
after you hang up.
Shantae Taylor.
Okay.
Go ahead,
first.
Shantae.
Yeah, or just Tay. I just like Tay.
All right.
Hello, to
As
all
a
the
gentleman,
fellas
I'll
Short
be
and
quiet.
sweet. Short and sweet. Let's
I
go.
wanted to address the question about the gentleman being dead. I would like to say I don't believe all gentlemen are dead. However, the ones that are dead, I believe that women have been the cause of it. And I say that because, and not all women, but a lot of women have had good men who they think are nice guys. So they use them, they abuse them, they're toxic, they get what they're going to get from them, and they leave that man broken, they leave him hurt, and leave him damaged for the next woman or the woman that's damaged and want a good man. And so now you got to work through all this man issues, his guards and all that, because he's been, devastated by this foul woman. So I think that's what's happening with a lot of men. However, they still want to be a gentleman. They still want to be loved. They just need a good woman to bring it back out of them.
Amen. Thank you for your call. Thank you
Trevor,
for your call.
Shantae. You just described Trevor because he's been hurt like that. We've gotten him over the years. We've got him therapy. We've gotten him therapy, and he's better now. Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Is the gentleman?
And sir, thank you for being a gentleman.
Go right ahead. See, that was
letting the
chivalry
lady
right
go
there.
first.
That was chivalry right there.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, brother. He let the woman go
My name
first.
is Dennis. My name is Dennis. I know KC.
Hey, what up,
I know
B?
KC for a couple of years. What's up with you,
Hey,
brother?
y'all, that's a
Well, I was
nickname.
calling in to tap in to say being a gentleman never dies, regardless if the female deserves it or not. It depends on the guy.
That's right.
You know,
Yep.
you can be going through bad relationship. It doesn't mean the next woman you get with deserves bad treatment.
Right.
You treat her
Yes.
like the song said. You treat her like a lady.
Right.
You give her that respect.
Right.
Regardless if she wants it or not, it's up to you to make that decision. I want to stick with her or I'm gonna move on.
Yeah.
Does
So,
she
you
des-
know,
How, do you have,
your swag shouldn't change. You shouldn't change who you are, especially if you're a man who was raised by a woman. You was raised, most of us raised by women.
Mhm.
And I'll be damn, I'm going to be disrespectful to my mother or my sisters or my grandmother. No, I'm not. So I'm not going to be like that towards my daughters or any other woman that I deal with, even my kids' mother. My kids would never see me really disrespect their mother like that. For what?
yeah,
That's right.
well, I definitely agree with
Thank
that.
you.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
I'm gonna give her that respect. I'm gonna be a gentleman. I'm gonna still do all that because at the end of the day, that's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let
Yes.
no woman or, you know what I'm saying, no past relationship tarnish that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's weak. That's
And-
weak.
And
I don't want to cuss on yourself, but I think that's
Yeah,
weak.
go ahead.
That's all right.
Let's
Hell,
cuss on the
we
damn
curse.
Be
show.
expressive.
We
Cuss
curse.
on the damn
No,
show.
no, on some real shit then. You know, I think that's weak of a man to say, well, I was in a bad relationship. I'm going to treat this next woman this way. You know, for what? Because you might be missing on your blessing. You know, this
Yes.
next woman is probably looking for that. Oh
I
my
think
God,
the wisdom
I'm
comes
looking
with
for
age.
someone who do the small things, open up the door. Hey, how you doing? Are you hungry? Or little things that a man's supposed to do. She probably missed that. She probably had that as with her father and got with a guy who
Hey,
never
that's Jennifer.
gave that to her. Now she's looking for it. Now here you come because you was dealing with a street woman and you giving her that respect. Now you want to take that and bring this over here with this other woman. Now you missing out. I think
Right.
any man that does that is really kind of shooting himself in the foot because he's not giving the opportunity to that woman to be who she is.
Man, that's
Allow
awesome.
her to
Yeah.
be who she is.
Thank you,
She's a
man.
woman. So
Yeah.
it's gonna come out. If she's for the streets, it's gonna come out. Regardless of who she is, it's gonna come out. So be who you are. Be a man. You know what I'm saying? Be a gentleman. It's not
Yeah.
about being a player. You being who your mother raised you to be. I'm gonna treat her and respect her like a woman.
That's
If
Thank
she
you,
wants
man.
that
We-
other treatment, then that's the case. I'm gonna pass her on to someone who would treat her that way.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it.
Well, I thank you, man, for
We
your
appreciate
call,
it, Dennis.
man.
Thanks, man.
We
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
your support, brother.
And thank you for being a gentleman, most of
Yeah,
all.
thank you for being. We thank you for being a gentleman, brother.
Yes. and
Score
letting the
one
lady
for the
go
gentleman.
first. Yes.
It's in. I think it's critical. Go ahead, brother.
Do we have? Is that another call? Oh, okay. That's just him hanging up.
Okay.
But yeah, man. And I mean, it's I think myself, I'm all of that, including the roughneck. I have an edge, and you
But
know,
you don't. Being a gentleman is not being soft.
no, what I'm saying, but
Nice
see,
guy.
some may feel that like you said, a soft guy may be soft.
But
But it's also what type of woman you're dealing with at the same time. You know, if she's mature and that's what she looks for, then it's easy to give that to, you know, but then you have some that ain't there yet.
I think you are who you attract, or at least you should become aware of that. Because I'm a certain type of a person, or if I'm a certain type of a nice guy, or a certain type of a gentleman, then I do firmly believe the manifestations of how you are inside will come out on the things that you say and do. So if that's the case, then you're going to attract who and how you are oftentimes. And
I would have to disagree with that a little
bit.
Because I think sometimes opposites attract too.
But I said oftentimes. I didn't say every time. I said oftentimes because
just let me tell you,
oh,
like yeah, I gotta cut you off because you'll talk all night if I don't cut you off.
Coming from another talk.
I would just like to say, like, some people are parasitic, right? And some people are givers, naturally givers, and they want to help people and heal them. And so they attract somebody that's broken
Hmm.
because they want the person to heal, to help, and everything like that.
Mm.
So you might attract a broken person,
You might.
just a fixer upper.
And then I think a lot of people also feel as if they have an innate need to repair somebody else.
Yeah,
And that's not necessarily the best thing for you, but if the person isn't open to learning from and being loved or a different type of love, then it's not going to work. Some people
Yeah.
have some things, or were raised in unhealthy relationships and believe that that's the way it is. So if you have a young gentleman, or if you have a nice guy that is constantly being hurt or abused, he could grow up to believe, like, that's how women are.
yeah,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
That
I
could
agree with
become his
that.
reality. So
Yeah.
you're shaping who you are going to be today.
So, like one of the callers was saying about a lot of the women are responsible, and um, I say that's true to a degree. Even with the way these young boys are turning out, like the old saying, you've been on the titty too long. So,
Yeah,
you got to expect certain behavior. And then some of these women would, you can't mess with a baby.
yeah,
So and so he's seeing that. So then when
mhm.
he start dating or seeing women, he expect that young lady to treat him just like as
Just
his
his
mom
mom.
did, like he the king, and he can come in and put his feet, change the channel, and she looking at the channel, don't ask her, anything, put his feet up on the table, like he the man, like he paying bills and he ain't paying shit.
The worst thing that I've seen, and we need to bring back uh, gentlemen courses and help with this problem, because I think it is a
Yeah,
problem.
it's a problem.
Because I seen you go to the gas station,
Oh,
and first of all, the woman is
oh,
A
driving,
lot. Yep.
oh.
and then the guy has
He
got the seat
laid back,
all the way back,
sleep.
and he not even asleep. He
Look.
just, or maybe on his phone or whatever.
Yeah.
She gets out, goes and pays for
Mhm.
the gas, and pumps the gas. You
Yeah.
don't
Or
see nothing wrong with that picture.
Man,
or
no, a
or
lot of them
outside
don't.
the grocery store in the car in the red while she's in there
A
doing the
lot of them
grocery
don't.
shopping. Like,
It's
really? But she allowed it though. But she
Okay.
allowed it.
not only did she allow it, but these are what these young men have been taught.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
I
that's
think if they were taught differently, no, you better get your ass out that seat and go pump this
but
gas.
but what we also got to realize is too, though, with regards to that, and I'm not trying to defend it, but I'm offering an explanation. You have a large number of uh little boys and girls that are being raised in foster care. And they already feel as if they're not necessarily loved, or not necessarily, no one necessarily wants for them. So it's like, I have a lot of people, believe it or not, think that they don't have anything to live for anyway.
I,
So I think that is probably one of the explanations for it.
I
Because
think
I've been growing up in foster care. Nana or whoever used to take care of me, they used to go in the store and made us sit in the car.
yeah, I think one of the callers said it, that you know the the women is basically women raising young boys to be men, and they need a strong example of how a man should treat a woman, right?
Right, right.
And Dr. Jawanzan Kunjufu, he always said women raise their daughters and love their sons.
Mhm.
So they know that this son is going to have a hard time in this world, so they coddle him and baby him,
But
and they teach the young girl to be strong, independent. Why?
right? Yeah, I don't understand.
Because she know that other male child that's her counterpart, they're basically saying this is, you're not going to get much help from him. So I need you to be strong and independent.
That's crazy.
As a result of that, that disgusts me. I'll tell you why. Because when you grow up to be this strong, I am woman, hear me roar, I'm Miss Independent Woman, I don't need a man, woman. It's like, okay, I respect that. Bless your heart. However, I need you.
Yeah, I don't think
Woman, I
men.
need you. Good nurturer. I
Yes,
need
of
you.
course.
A loving support system. I need you. If I came home and I hear that you are awesome, I know you down today, but baby, hold on. Let me go ahead and see what I can do to help us with your situation. Maybe we could
The
use my
therapy is
such and
working.
such to help you. Maybe I can call my folks to help you with. And when she starts talking in we and encouraging, uplifting, and inspiring you, then as a result, you're gonna, like I said at the beginning of the show, you're gonna try to live up to it. But the manifestations of what she feeds in your spirit, when it gets into
Mm.
that fertilizer, and if it's good fertilizer and good soil, you'll grow to blossom and grow and help uplift, encourage your woman in return.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
it's love is an
it's,
unselfish act. But
it's
woman, I need you. You can be
reciprocal.
independent. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
reciprocal.
but and I feel, and then also too, a lot of, I'll say females. Okay, we'll
Oh, we
take
got a
this caller
caller.
out,
All right, we have
and
another
then I'll
caller.
come back.
Sorry to cut you off.
So letting both
Let
of
us
y'all
know.
know.
Let them
Yeah,
know. Let them know. Hello,
caller.
caller. Thank you for your call. What's your name? And we
I'm
thank
not
you
a
for your
new
question
caller.
and
This
your
is
comment.
Kay.
Hi, Tay.
Hey.
I
How
am.
are you?
Hi, everybody. I wanted to say I actually agree with the last two was just touching on, but I wanted to point out that we have to understand that women cannot teach men to be men. And so, in my opinion, when Trevor's talking about these underprivileged children, I'm a product of that. When you see this in your community, that's where those few gentlemen or men like you, people with, that are chivalrous, men that really care about the next generation, that's when you have to step up and become that mentor or that man figure for those lost children. Because let's be realistic, most kids are raised by single parents or grandmothers.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, we are better together. So we got to step up.
I
I
need you.
agree. Good.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you for your call.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
watching. And that's what I was about to say. The some females are different. Mama, big mama, and them. It's just certain things that they weren't gonna tolerate
Oh yeah.
from the boys in the family. And
Hmm.
no, they can't teach us how to be men, but what they can instill in you will carry you a long way, and then to a point to where you start figuring out, just like she was saying about the role models or the where I grew up. There was hustlers, there were drug dealers, there was gangsters, there were all of these other, different. So but what my mom instilled in me, I can decipher what it was. I if I choose to be a street dude, I still I didn't carry myself as a I knew when it was a balance. Even being in the street, it was a balance on how you moved and how you treated or dealt with certain people. Just like I was one, I didn't mess with quote unquote, like we used the rats in the hood. That wasn't me. And it was because um what my mom instilled, because I still looked at how she moved.
Hmm.
So that was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use her as an example. You know, how she dressed, how she carried herself, how she talked. That those was the type of females that I sought out.
I, I'm with you on that.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's
as you
it's
should.
it's all still you have the when you become a young man, you can still take. So the woman raising uh young men or young children by themselves, it's still a real footprint in how them men them young men turn out. So of course they need their father, but certain women can still in them what they need.
I would have to agree to disagree because you need an example as a man. I would agree that yes, your mother is gonna be nurturing but I don't think it's a woman's role to try to play both
No,
roles.
no, no, no,
You know what
no,
I mean?
no. It's
Because
not.
you
It's not.
oh, we have
I'm gonna
another
have a
caller.
caller, and we'll finish that when we
Yes,
up.
yes.
Hello,
Hello,
caller.
caller.
Thank you for your call. What's your question or comment?
Please
Hello,
give us your name first.
hello.
Hello.
Well, my comment is, my name is Adrian. I live in Adrian,
You live in where?
Houston.
Hey, you
Houston.
calling from
Hey,
Houston? Hello,
thank you,
Adrian.
brother. Thank you for tuning in from Houston. H-Town.
What's your
Man,
comment or question?
I've been married for 35 years, and
That goes.
I basically just wanted to say I raised my son and my daughter. Both of them are married now.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't grow up with a father. It was just my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My father lived in Georgia, and we lived in Miami. That's where I grew up at, Miami, Florida. Drug capital of the world back in the 80s
Right.
and
Right.
before then. Saw a lot of violence, saw a lot of stuff going on. But one thing I did have, and I agree with what the gentleman said earlier about having the right mom, a disciplinarian, or whatever you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I was more afraid of my mom than the drug
Right.
dealers and
There
the
you
boogers.
go. There you go. Yep.
So a lot of times you do need a strong woman in. But
Mhm.
one thing I did have too, I had my pastor, the deacons at my church, and my mom would travel with us or let us travel to Texas from elementary to high school, and we saw something different.
Mhm.
All I say is that yeah, a man should be in the home, but when you are in the home, you deal with more. When
Mhm.
you are a father, a husband, and all that, you deal with more because you're there.
Mhm.
You're dealing with all the changes, the attitudes, and the relationship, the kids, everybody. So I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Right.
It's
Thank
tough.
you.
Like I said, I've been married 35 years, but
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
oh, thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
congratulations
You
on that.
have to when you're there. You like my pastor told me years ago. And me and him are the same age, 56. You have to be in the right environment also when you're being a husband and a father, because if you're not in the right environment, if you're hanging around a bunch of guys that are, single, or the husband's out there playing, want to still be players, you may pick up on some things, but you have to be in the right environment to where just feed off of each other. I got buddies. I have a best friend of mine, one of them who's 72.
Mhm.
One is 65, and one is my age. And my youngest friend, he's about 8 years younger than me. So I see it from a kind of 10-year difference, from a younger person. But all I'm saying is that you need to surround yourself around the right people in order to have a good family, good marriage, good life. Because if you're around the wrong people, you will go down and you will take your family down.
Right.
I
Yes,
agree.
I just want to
agreed.
say that.
Thank
Right
you,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Thank you for
Thank
We
you for
staying
appreciate
up.
calling in,
that.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
staying
thank
up
you
and
for
watching
staying up
and
and
listening.
watching, man. We appreciate your support. Thank you, brother.
As you guys were saying.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, just like what he said. No, a woman cannot teach you how to be a man. But like I said, the things that she instilled in you. And I think that's what's missing is and today is those type of women. They don't exist like they did. Now we had, because we went to church, and Mark just put up about your dad. I think Canoon was not you, not you. Uh we're talking about black fathers right now. Um Canoon was the only one that had a father in the house when we were coming up.
Yeah,
So
and a grandfather.
and a
So I had
grandfather, right? So he
the
had
dual.
so we was able, although his dad, he played a factor. A lot of the men,
Mhm.
strong men in the church, played a factor in our lives. We didn't get it on a regular like Canoon got it, but we still watch. So that's where our role models kind of came from a little
Yeah.
bit, you know.
And that's what
Well,
we're
can I
basically saying.
No, no, no. You have
Can I
you
interject real
have a
quick?
white
Hey,
father.
listen.
No,
Listen.
it's
I
not the
just
I
same.
wanted
have
to
a,
say,
I have a father, regardless of the color. He was a father. He was an example and taught me to be a good man, regardless
Right.
of my color. I just so happened to be black. Now, because he gave me a life's tour, he became my mentor. And because he was my mentor, it instilled to be a well-groomed, humble, organized
Exactly.
businessman,
And he did a
to
good
stay
job.
equipped spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. But the color doesn't matter. It's if you have someone to emulate.
you're focused on the color.
Yeah. You know we
You
joke.
said that, not
You
me.
know we joke.
Kevin said that.
We always say you were raised by the man. Don't go there. You was raised by the man.
Go ahead.
But he did a good job because you know the type of kid that you have turned the man that you we see before. He did a excellent job. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
ain't
I think
about
to a certain
your dad
extent,
know that we joke like
I think to a certain extent, man, we all kind of had an influence on each other's upbringing, for sure.
oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
I would say
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
Sure.
And
absolutely.
my dad, okay, my dad and my grandfather, they taught me so much. I had, they could teach so much because they spread it around the
Mhm.
community. You
Right.
know what I mean? I remember my dad, Mark mentioned it, but throwing hands in boxing, showing you got to have that. You
Yeah,
know, you got to have
definitely.
that. A man showing you that. But I remember Mark, my dad carried all of us. I think it was Mark, EP, and I forget who else was in the car. But we all went on a casting call for a commercial. And I
Mhm.
think Mark ended up getting the commercial. And we were young. It was a Stretch Armstrong commercial.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think just men being involved, the right men
Right.
being involved,
Absolutely.
and I'm just saying for women that are single mothers, you just need to surround your son with some good men,
Mhm.
and they can instill in him how to
Right.
become that gentleman and have those gentleman
Yeah,
qualities.
I
definitely.
agree.
Yeah.
I just real quick before we hit the real spit and thank our callers and audience, you know, the ones that participated. One time, you know how we used to go down to the park and
Hmm.
play all the time. And some of those leagues we was a part of, and I forget what happened. There, you may remember this, but when Max said, "Hey, look, we may go to church, but we ain't no punks." You know, that just it resonated like and because we always looked up to him because of the type of man that he was.
Yeah.
We gonna praise God and we gonna give him all praises, but no,
Yeah.
we ain't no punk.
My dad always told me that David was a true warrior.
Hmm.
You know what I
And he
mean?
carried himself as
That is just like this. Say, I may praise God, but you will get these hands.
hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was our show tonight. We want to send it over to Trev. We appreciate you guys that have tuned in. Thank you for your participation, your calls, your comments, and we somebody want to read the names? Just throw the names out there. That was Pete. That's you.
Yeah, Taylor, thank you. Takasha, Janelle, McCann, Adrian, Valerie, Bobby, Sharice, Jennifer, Monica, Shantae, Dennis, Michelle, Adrian again, Mark Pope. So we want to thank all you all for joining us this evening. And now we get ready for that great orator, Mr. Graham.
Real spit. We say that the topic was the death of a gentleman and do nice guys finish last. There's also an adage that says, he who laughs last laughs the hardest. So if you still have that nice guy around, there's a good chance that he'll be around because a lot of bad boys don't make it. A lot of people may want a bad boy until it's time to pay that toll, whether it be emotionally, whether it be at a funeral, whether it be in terms of bailing someone out. After a period of time, that kind of gets old. So maybe he who finished last wins. The race doesn't always go to the swift. So don't hurry up and jump into a relationship with someone that just because you're attracted to them. Find out if it's worth it. Find out if it's worth your time. But also understand who you are and how you are. Be truthful and honest with whoever you're dealing with, because we're already walking around in this, especially in LA, people with a lot of broken hearts, and you can't see their heart from within if you're just accepting who they look like on the outside. Don't hook yourself up with a shell, because you can end up in hell. The nice guys have the pick of the litter in the end, but the pick of the litter. Women and men, preserve yourselves. Who you are now doesn't necessarily make who you're going to be tomorrow if you don't make a change somehow, some way. You have to grow into the person that you're going to become starting today. Don't make wrong choices. If you're going to make a choice with someone, do understand there's some things that you cannot take back. You cannot take time, you can't take words, and you can't take opportunity back. So with that being said, thank you, and tune in next week. We're going to be focusing on, the topic for next week would be he who finds a wife. For those of you that have been watching the show,
magnifying glass.
For those of you that are watching the show, please subscribe, like, and share. If you enjoy the content, if you want to participate in the conversations, or even be a co-host or guest or whatever, please do call in. We look forward to it. To all you young people that do watch the show, we appreciate you and we uplift you. So remember, you guys, have an awesome week. We'll see you back here next week at 8 o'clock.